What's going on YouTube? This is Sam Master. It is September 11th, and so we've been into the new ban list now for 11 days. I can already say already that I'm tired of this format. I'm just tired of this format, not even 2 weeks in. All I've been seeing is Chaos Agents everywhere, and I've ranted about it plenty enough to everybody. People are getting pissed off at me, you know, claiming it's like, well, then don't play the damn game. It's like, well, you know what? I want to play the damn game because I actually know how to have fun with this game, but you can't have fun, you know, if everyone else is using the same damn thing. But I'll keep myself from ranting on that right now. What I'm giving you today is my 6 Samurai for the new ban list. I am glad that Sams are no longer the herp derp they were before. They still kind of are, but with Smoke Signal and Shienda 1, they're less derpy, so they're not meta anymore. They're tier 2 if anything, so I'm happy with that. So I'm able to have fun with this build again. Stop it. I'm going to give you my new deck list for this format. Monsters first, starting off, I believe I use, hold on, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, yeah, 16 monsters. 3 Kagemusha. John, seriously, turn that off. Sorry, people, my brother's being a douchebag in the background. John, seriously, stop it. Okay, 3 Kagemusha, main tuner. I was running 2, but I'm using 3 because it's just better that way. 3 Kizan, he's still pretty much their main special summoning card. While you control Samurai, you special summon him, so he's a core necessity. 2 Elder, because it's nice this format. He has the effect of Cyber Dragon. He's a level 3 6 Samurai, and he's an Earth, so more Naturia Beast. And he's a nice substitute for Kageki, since people are maining Veilers and Herald of Orange Light this format, you know, because of fucking Chaos Agents. Next, 2 Kageki. Despite the Veilers and Herald of Orange Light, Kageki is still very nice to have. He's actually very good at baiting out effect Veilers. So, but since the deck's not Shien spam anymore, you don't want to run 3. I'll just keep those there. 1 Grandmaster, because, you know, he's the buffier Kizan. 1 Hand, just for monster destruction. Nah. This one is a tech choice of mine. 1 Zanji. Personally, he's actually very good this format, and since I run an asceticism build, he's a good target for asceticism if you hit a Kizan, in case, you know, you've gone through all your elders and shit like that. 1 Squire, because I use dojos. And finally, 2 Effect Veiler. This particular build I have can main Veilers very easily, so I'm happy for that. On to spells, you got Staples, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole. I do not use MSTs in the main, I side them. The Searcher cards, Rhoda, Smoke Signal, Gateway, which is still broken for Sam. Oops. This is still broken for Sam's people. I literally have yet to open a game with Gateway and lose. But yeah, this card is just amazing. 3 United for the draw power. 2 Dojo to summon from deck. 3 Asceticism. Originally, I thought this card was pretty horrible. I didn't like using it, but I sort of came around in realizing that this card is pretty much like Emergency Teleport for Sam's. So it's very nice. And finally, last 2 spells, I use 2 Pot of Duality. Because Sam's special summon a lot, Pot of Duality, most people would think you wouldn't use Pot of Duality in them, but since Sam's actually have a horrible time top decking, you go through your whole your special summoning spam, and usually the next turn you're not going to be special summoning anything, so you use Pot of Dualities to just, you know, kind of regain some advantage in the hand. On to traps. Just saying before I start traps here that Sams are one of the few decks right now that can actually run a back row, because they have Destruction negation as well as just general spell trap negation with Shien, Beast, and Barkion. You got your Solemn Brigade, 2 warnings and a judgment. 1 Starlight Road, which is pretty much necessary this format for any deck using any type of back row. Mirror Force. 2 Magatama, because this card is actually very good this format. I've been thinking about maybe bumping it up to 3 somehow, but I'll check later. And last trap is 1 double-edged sword technique. I see no reason to run 2. I think 2 is actually just a waste of deck space, so, you know, just 1. Onto the extra deck. The extra deck, as far as I'm concerned, is pretty much complete. There may be 1 or 2 changes I'm thinking about making, but yeah, I'll determine that as time goes on. The level 5s, 1 Catastor, which is very good this format with all the fucking light decks. 1 Naturia Beast, and 1 Shien. I was running Librarian, but I have stopped because I rarely synchro spam enough to really use Librarian effectively. The level 6s, 1 Brionic, 1 Naturia Barkion, and 1 Orient Dragon. Orient Dragon is actually very good with this deck, especially in mirror matches and things like that. So, I would definitely recommend getting one of these. Level 7s, Black Rose Dragon, Scrap Archfiend, which I am actually just thinking about taking out, and 1 Naturia Landois. Level 8, just 1 Stardust Dragon for use with Starlight Road. I rarely ever synchro level 8 with this deck, so I just keep them all out. Level 9, 1 Trishula, which is still a very good card. And this deck synchros 9 pretty easily. And the last card, which I finally just got in the last couple days, 1 Ally of Justice Decisive Armor. He is actually very good this format. If you don't know what he does, he's a level 10 generic synchro, which can be done easily with this deck with Kagemusha and 2 Keyzons. While your opponent controls a light monster, you can either just destroy 1 spell or trap they control. I think that's what it says.
1 set card.
Oh yeah, just 1 set card. The other effect, you can discard a card to destroy all spell and trap cards your opponent controls, or use his last effect, which is probably the most broken. Send all cards in your hand to the graveyard to look at your opponent's hand. Send all light monsters from their hand to the graveyard, and then inflict damage to their life points equal to the total attack of all those sent monsters. You can easily first turn kill somebody with that effect, especially if they happen to open up janky with 2 Christies, 3 Hyperions, and God knows what else. Finally, to the Exceeds, 1 Leviathan Dragon, because you can exceed level 3 with this pretty easily. I do not use Leviar because there's not too much removing from play that I can, grab. 1 Utopia, rank 4 Exceeds is very easy with this deck, and Utopia is just a very good Exceed. And finally, 1 Roach. People, this card is pretty much a necessity with Sam's this format. He's very easily exceeded, and he's like a 2x Thunder King. If you're dueling something like Twilight, I mean, that's instantly BLS, JD, gone. Any 2 big monsters, just gone. Same thing with Agents. That's Hyperion and Christia, just gone right off the bat. He's very good. He has saved me. He has actually won me a couple games because my opponent couldn't synchro anything. So yeah, I would definitely get him. Finally, the side deck. The side deck, just like any of my decks, or anything in my main deck or my extra deck, everything is subject to change, as time goes on, as I see what needs done and what doesn't. But this is what I have for now. This is what has been working, so I'm going to stick with this until it changes otherwise. First off, I side 2 MSTs, because the main decks we're seeing right now are Twilight and Agents. They don't set much back row, so I see no reason to main MSTs. I'll just side them in, if I dual deck with back row. Second, 2 Smashing Grounds. This is a good side card this format, just because the top decks all have just big janky beaters like JD, Hyperion, Christia, BLS, and all that bullshit. Next, from what I've seen, this is a personal choice of mine. I haven't really seen anyone else siding this, but I think they should. 2 Shien's Advisor. He's actually really good. If you normal summon him while you control a samurai, you declare a monster type, and monsters of that type cannot declare an attack or be special summoned. It's very good against any of the machine deck. It's very good against Agents. It can be good against Twilight if the only thing you need to worry about is them dropping JD or BLS, but you don't really want to use this effect for Warriors, because then that screws you over. Next, 2 Cyber Dragon, obviously for anything machine. 2 Kinetic Soldier. I'm not too worried about Sams this format, so I'm not siding Puppet Plants, but there are hero decks going around, so I'm siding in 2 Kinetic Soldiers just because he gains 2,000 attack and defense when he battles a warrior. Next, 2 Safe Zone. This is still a good side card for Sams. It protects your synchros and keeps them on the field. At the same time, you gotta watch out for back row destruction. If you get this on Naturia Beast, then it's like pretty much unstoppable. Lastly, not lastly yet. Well, first let me get this one. 1 Chimera Tech. Just for machines. And finally, the last card. This is a personal side check of mine that I've only just recently done and decided to try it out. 2 Leeching the Light. As I said, one of the 2 top decks right now seem to be mostly agents and a bit of Twilight going on, and all of their big boss monsters are all lights. So, let's say you manage to get your opponent down, a couple life points left, but they have Hyperion and Christia and something else on field, and you draw into something, and you can't special summon because of Christia. But let's say I just normal summon my Zanji and play Leeching the Light. Increases attack by the 2800 off of Christia. Attack Hyperion for 1900. And unless he has Honest, it would be GG on him, assuming his life points are 1900 or less. I haven't really gotten to use this much, so I'm still trying to see how it works out. But if it really works out well, I'm gonna keep using it. If you don't know exactly what it does, is you select 1 light monster your opponent controls, and then all attack position monsters you control gain attack equal to that monster. So it's kind of like a spell version of Honest for non-lights or lights, but you know what I mean. But yeah, that's my Sams. I might eventually just do a duel with them to show you how they work and all that. I believe this build is going to work extremely well this format, at least until Dark World comes out. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. I am building Dark World when they come out, but I won't run them competitively at local shop. I'll probably just keep using Sam, so we'll see how that goes on. I don't know when my next video will be, so for now, see you later, YouTube.